Here's a full breakdown and prediction for Week 2 NFL matchup between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, based on the latest analysis and betting insights. While I go through this breakdown and final predictions, enjoy some feed of the 1993 game between the Cowboys and the Giants and some background of the group, we dem boys. Let's get right to it, folks. So, the game overview. It's going to be the Dallas Cowboys versus New York Giants. The time and date is Sunday, September 14th. The location, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. The current spread has the Cowboys at minus 5.5. The over and under is 44.5 points. So the team with the Dallas Cowboys is the Week 1 recap. The Cowboys are looking to rebound after a sluggish opener versus the Eagles. So far, we've demonstrated the following strengths. Strong run game expected to exploit Giants' defensive gaps. The defense is led by the group. Uh, in the second half of that game, appeared to be aggressive and disruptive. Concerns: offensive rhythm is still developing, and needs consistency. As well as we have some concerns that seem to be brewing up with Bland with our secondary, along with some ongoing injuries, and then the remaining question as it relates to the running back position with Miles fumbling and him not really showing that burst of speed long range as he was tackled from behind on somebody who had no business catching up to him. So more to come on that front, hopefully, when the game plays out. So the New York Giants. So the Week 1 recap for them was they lost 21-6 to Washington, struggling on both sides of the ball. The strengths: potential bounce back from Russell Wilson, who is starting in Week 2. Solid receiving corps if given time to operate. The concerns: offensive line continues to be an issue for the Giants, and they only had 74 rushing yards and were 4 for 16 on third downs in Week 1. So predictions and best bets. So the winner is the Cowboys. Home field advantage and a stronger defensive unit. The spread, as mentioned before, the Cowboys come in as a minus 5.5 due to the Giants' offensive struggles. Does make it hard for them to keep pace with our offense. The over and under, as explained, is 44.5, and it's really due to both teams showed limited scoring ability that was demonstrated in Week 1. Then lastly, player to watch. Well, it's not going to be Micah Parsons, okay? But players to watch would be to see if Jaden Blue enters the game and plays at the running back position. What ends up happening in our secondary with Bland if he doesn't play. And then thirdly is getting George Pickens more involved, and who else is going to step up between the tight end and receiving corps outside of which is our overused wide receiver number one, CD Lamb. As we need to continue to watch our offensive line. There were some things that seemed to be a little concerning, but time will tell with that as well, because our production seemed to be crumbling a little bit when more pressure was applied in the second half, and it did impact our offense. If the Giants can protect Russell Wilson and establish a run game early, they might keep it close. But if Dallas controls the trenches, this could be a comfortable win for the Cowboys. Okay, so these are under the radar dynamics that may go beyond stats and betting lines, but they could impact it if you're into betting. So the X factors for the Cowboys: Dak Prescott's home dominance. It's worthy to note that Prescott is 7-1 at home versus Giants in his career. Even with the Week 1 loss, he looked sharp. Drops by the receivers did mask a better performance. If he finds rhythm early, especially with play action, Dallas could control the tempo. No Micah Parsons versus the Giants O-line. Without Parsons in the game and being a game wrecker, we're going to have to see what the rest of the defensive unit does. Okay. And, essentially, we need to really kind of keep an eye on them and see what it looks like about um, struggles on third downs and things of that nature. Okay. CeeDee Lamb's bounce back. Lamb had key drops in week 1. If he cleans that up, he's a matchup nightmare for the Giants. But also, I'd like to see more from Pickens, okay, and from our tight end Ferguson. All right, Giants X factors. Russell Wilson's redemptions can be. Wilson completed less than 50% of his passes in week 1. If he can extend plays and hit those deep shots, it could open up the run game and loosen Dallas' defense. And that's the key there is, we need to continue to show progress against that run, okay, and, go from there. So another X factor is Miranda Ball's play calling. He's known to be creative schemes. He'll need to outmaneuver, our defense. Expect trick plays, motion heavy sets, and quick reads to neutralize the pass rush. But the ball, he seems to struggle on the offensive side when it comes to the quarterback play. I think we can all appreciate Daniel Jones. He went to the Colts, and look what he did with the Colts just in 1 week. So, I don't know if it's the quarterback or if it's the coaching. We've kind of been in the same boat with that for some time. As well as it's worth noting third down efficiency. Giants were 4 for 16 on third downs last week. Improving this stat is crucial in keeping drives alive and keeping Dallas's offense off the field. Final predictions. I am predicting the Cowboys 35, the Giants 17. I think that we were there for the first week, but I do think versus the Giants, we will score at least 35 points. I originally had wanted to score the Giants lower, struggle between 13, 17, and 10, and mainly because I'm not really sure that offensive line and quarterback play is really there. And I don't think they're going to be able to apply that as much pressure as what the Eagles did versus us in week 1. And we've got a little bit of tape footage to see what Washington's defense did against us. So really it kind of goes back to the Giants running game and the Giants offensive line and quarterback play. Really ultimately what they're going to score when it's all said and done. The only weakness and only concern from a points perspective is I did give the Giants a little bit more points due to questions with our secondary. So without further ado, if you like videos such as this, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel. What are your predictions and thoughts of the upcoming game? Please feel free to leave comments below to let me know. That's all for now. Caffeine News out. And as we leave, enjoy another snippet of this game.